bowling drills from elite coach Donovan Miller.
Don, we've got your son here as well to hand. Do you want to talk us through your bowling philosophies before we get into the specifics of the drills?
Okay, so I am very big on coaching the individual. So I look at the individual attributes, his disciplines, what he has, and then I try to add to that. Okay, as long as he's safe. So it's very simple as that. I try and keep it as simplify everything. Just coaching the individual. So and then after have enough information over a long time, and we have some clarity around the athlete, then we could start looking to add things, not to take anything away from what he already has. So obviously Donovan is a young fast bowler. So some of the stuff that I'll be looking at is he quick? Does he have pace? Okay, how can I encourage that? And if I walk you down here, I'll show you a little drill I'll use to encourage that without he even knowing that's what I'm doing. So this is a target here. So this target is just set up here. I just kind of create it a little bit, and it's set up on maybe a good length specifically for him, where he would like to bowl. So the first target would be how often can he hit this? Okay. Then the next challenge would be, we move on from that. Can he hit it and let it fall over? Okay, because it's quite heavy. So that is the encouraging phase. For him to hit it, for it to fall over, he really has to try and bowl quick. So I want to encourage pace and accuracy at the same time. So that's a simple drill there. So right away there, that one didn't hit the target, but it clipped the top of off stump. Looks like a little bit of pace on it as well. So right away, he's already more focused. I will move this target, and if you notice, much smaller. So I can challenge him by putting it this way, or I could challenge him by putting it this way, see if he could hit this. But as also, I want to encourage him as well to hit the top of off. So even though there's a target there, if he does miss the target, can he still hit the stump? So there you go again. So there's another little just to try and continue to encourage him to be as accurate as he can. So right away, so second ball, he's on the money. So all I can do now is to continue challenging him. So line up this with about off stump. Okay, so let me just double check if that's lined up. That's too far up. Because I want to encourage him to hit the stumps as well. So if you notice now, it's just it's a smaller target as we go along. As you can see again, just another little target, just in that area. You can put it anyhow you want. So anywhere in that area, again around, challenging the stump. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove this, and this little ball now is lined up. So the aim is I would just let the bowler try and bowl 6 ball just around this. If they get it anywhere close to that, that's good enough. If they can hit the stump, then the more magic. If he missed the target and hit the stump, for me it's even better, because it means he's in the right channel. So now can he bowl the same ball to a left-hander? And all I do is just move it there and just encourage him as well to bowl to a left-hander, just in case a left and a right-hander combination is batting. So again, if you notice there, all I was doing is challenging the bowler. There's a few targets, there's always a challenge, there's always a competition. During that period, I might be taking some video footage as well, and then I will go away and I'll look at his action. I'll maybe look where his feet is landing. I'll look if he's finished off his action, if his hands is finishing off nicely, finishing off his action, and stuff like I'll look at is he strong in this position when he landed? Is he bowling from here with a bent leg, with a flex in his knee, or is he coming over the top nicely? And those are the things I'll look at over a period of time, and then maybe, as I said before, look to try and add some more stuff to develop that. I wouldn't be doing it now because it's a full cricket season. Maybe in the winter, then when we have a lot of time, we could look how we could develop those areas. As a young bowler, and even you're always trying to get better. And once you're stronger, that gives you a better chance. So again, as I said, Donovan is only a 15-year-old, and the drills, I'm always challenging him. So I'm gonna just challenge him to bowl a few Yorkers, and the whole point of these Yorkers is just trying. If you're in a position and you have to bowl at the death, and someone is going after you, you have something to go to. Okay. It's not the easiest thing to execute, so I've never put any pressure on any player. So like this, if you look here now, I have all different type of target. So if I was, say, it depends on where the type of player. So if this was an international player and we planning specific for a specific individual, some people, they stand back deep in their crease. Some people move about in the crease, whether left or right-handers. So we normally look to say, okay, we're going to put these small one here, where they stand, whether we're going to go straight Yorkers there, we could put two there, or we could go this way, or I could just put it here for a wide Yorker, or I could just put it here for a wide Yorker to the lefty there, or even to the right-hander, or maybe if someone hit someone in the heel there, we could just put it there like that. So you're looking to hit the heel, the back heel, wherever, whether right or left-hander, so it's all flexible. But for the younger players like Donovan, all I'm going to do is, I want to encourage him to bowl bigger, so I'm going to give him a bigger target to hit here. And also, if you notice, he was bowling with a new white ball, so I'm going to challenge him again now and give him an older ball to try and use, okay? He might get frustrated if he doesn't get it, but it's all a part of the game. And also, I still like to encourage hitting the stumps, because if he do miss his length, he's still hitting the stump as well. For me, I mean, there's so many different ways of bowling Yorkers. If you listen to some of the best Yorker bowlers, the Chris Jordan and these guys, people talk a lot about dropping their arm, people with a slingy action. But for me, you have to be really careful when you listen to these things, because when you're dealing with a young player, these guys understand their body, so they could change things and go back to where they can. But with a young player who's still trying to find their way, it's very important that you just put a target and encourage them to let them find a way to hit the target instead of talking to them about what someone else do. They will find a way to hit the target. Everyone's different again, and we're going to leave it at that. Again, this is for more the younger players. For maybe a professional, I think so with cones, for me and cones, you have to be really careful with it, what you're doing. Especially professional players, they like to visualize in their head, some players. But for a younger player, if you were working with a younger player and say he was a bit wide on the crease here and you want him to get closer, so the simpler things, you could just put some cones down in this straight line, so some little cones in the straight line there, and again, this is a very, very basic stuff, and as you can see, you could go all the way where he's running up from. And just encourage him to just run straight, to just practice him running in a straight line and angle. You could do the same around the wicket. You could move on from that. There's so many stuff you could do. You could move on from that, and you could get those intervention hurdles and put them high so they could run in between. And one other one that works well, what we used to use a lot, if you have more than one bowler, you could just get some crash mat here and let them stand with a crash. I don't have one here to demonstrate that. A few crash mats, and let them just run through to kind of keep them in a straight line. And always making sure that the momentum is always going towards the target. So basic drills, yeah. So look, I like to try and be creative, you know, so if you look here, I have the camera stand. I wouldn't encourage you to use this, but it's almost the same height as me. So if I remove the helmet here, and then I put it on here like this, like say a left-handed batter, you could always make it a bit taller, depends on how you have, and then you could just encourage your bowler to try and hit the helmet. Very, very simple. With no coaching instruction, can you hit the helmet? Okay, and that will encourage them to bowl the bouncer. This is a badminton pole, and if you look, I try and make it as repetitive as where a batter would stand, and similar again. And can your bowler run in from here? Can he run in, and can he bounce the ball and hit the top of that? All right. So little drills you could do. You know, if you're gonna do a bouncer warm-up drill, you could just get in. Say from here to bowl from here. Just get into his bowling position. Try and hit it. So that's a warm-up. Okay. So that's a warm-up, and then you bring him back. Again, you bring him back from here, from halfway now. Again, make sure I don't break your camera stand because I'm not that accurate. And then from here again. Okay, so that's one. You encourage the bouncer. You're not gonna get a full run out of me. And then can he walk through? Whether from over the wicket or on, can he just walk through again here? Okay. And the last bit, then that person, again maybe, just from a little short run up, you know, just from a little short run up, here, from here again. Okay. Woo. That's the most you're gonna get out of me. That's my first time I bowled in 6 years. Yeah, but just little drills like that, just warming up right through, and then maybe from all the way back, from the full run up, yeah, and just try and say 12 balls challenge, try and hit the helmet. You could bring in whatever you want. You could find out what motivates your player. If it's money, you could chuck a £1 coin in there, a £5 note. If it's coffee or any other type of drinks, what motivates your player is important. So you try to get them motivated to do it, but challenge them. So yeah, so I mean, if you notice here, I have a ball. At the moment, there's no shiny side on this. And what I would encourage young players to do is to make sure they look after this ball. Most of the times you see them in games, you see they're tracking the ball around. If you watch any test cricket, or you always see someone have the ball in here, okay? They doesn't let any of this side get wet, and they work on one side because they want the ball to swing, and they keep shining that side. But the key thing for me is what I see work most is, as I said, I'm going to try and go right hand this time, is getting your wrist behind the ball. Once your wrist is behind that ball, okay, you could do whatever you want with it. Once the wrist goes behind it, you know, if your shiny side is pointing there and you want to bowl a big outswinger, and you want to bowl about inswinger, you could just shape it a little way there. One thing I find work as well, you could just get your thumb under here and get that thumb under there, and that if you can control that, it will even swing a bit more. For your inswinger, it's the same thing again. The ball is important. My rough side becomes this side. I want my wrist behind it. That's the first basic stuff. My wrist's behind the ball, and where the rough side, the heavier side, is pointing. So when that ball comes down, it's gonna obviously come down like so. If this ball gets really roughed up, and it's a sunny day like today, which is outside, and the pitch is dry, you also can try a little wobble. You know, we've seen a lot of that where the ball goes. So the wobble seam is, again, you know, you want to hold the ball just like that, like so, and you want it to be coming out just like that, just wobbling in the air. So when the ball hits when it hits, instead of it going that way, it comes back. It just hits and just stays. And those are the ones that kind of hit the splice of the bat and maybe give you a wicket and a tough day when it's nothing against the ball. Another way of looking after the ball to get it to reverse is make sure that there's a way where you could rough one side up legally. Don't start rubbing this thing on the floor, but it's the way you throw in the ball and you make sure you keep one side shine. And obviously reverse swing is where the ball go the opposite of where you want it to go. That's the best way to describe it. So if I want to reverse this thing now, and this was my shiny side, it means the ball should be going in, but it will go the opposite way. Again, if you notice, I have 2 old ball here. There's so much things you could do with these, knuckleball, some people get their thumb down in it like that. Some people, when they're going through the action, they hold it back there. Some people do the split finger. Some people bowl cutter, half cutter, leg cutters, the back of the hand slow the ball. There's so many of them out there. But again, for me, and this is my philosophy in doing this, I want to see what the bowler can do first before I start encouraging these things to him. So I might just say, do you have a slower ball? Bowl it. Let me see. He might come up with something new where you've never seen before. He might bowl it like that, and it comes out like that. So before, again, you start trying to coach all of these things, make sure that you find out what the player have again. We're going to do a little bit of bowling, so it's important that we get the guys warm. So we're just doing a little bit of band work, light mid ball work to get the muscles going, and then we're going to go straight into just getting them, just marking their run-ups out and just running through their actions with the ball in their hands. So they get straight into it. When they get straight into it, everything is linked together. Obviously, it's the middle of the cricket season, and we're still indoors. So we're not going to go too hard with the boys, So everything we do today, we're going to do it about 60 to 80%, but looking for the same skill level, which I'll talk you through a bit later. What I want you to do is just mark your run-up out. If you need to pull the nets back, and we're just going to drag through about 50% 6 times. So that's a part of your warm-up. The benefit of doing this is just to get them a rhythm going, and also they're running with their natural running style. Instead of doing our sprint warm-up and then go and bowl, they're just basically running the same way they bowl, and they get just a bit of rhythm going when they're ready to bowl. So obviously they're finished, they're running through now, so they're actually just bowling the ball and just concentrated on hitting the target and hitting the stump 3/4 ways up. If it goes over, great, but if you have a look, we want the ball around that yellow target, so they're visualizing a right-hander is batting and just try and hit that area as consistently as they can. We're gonna try and swing the ball away now to the right-hander. Talk me through your outswinger. Just, yeah.
Well, how I'll hold it
Yeah.
is I have my middle finger on the seam,
Yeah.
and my index just on the outside,
Yeah.
and have my index really light on my at the back, and then
Okay.
pinky
Yeah. Where does your rough side point it?
inwards.
Inwards. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So does it point towards fine leg or towards the slip? The rough side.
Towards the slip.
Towards the slip. Okay. Excellent. So now what we're gonna do, yeah? You see this? We're gonna hold the ball like this. We're not gonna let anything get on any of these sides, okay? And this side here, our shiny side, we're gonna shine it some more. So look, you see my hands not touching it? We're shining it, shine it, shine it, shine it. Shining it. Anyhow, some people put it in their shot, okay? And only time is when you get the seam on that, okay? And have a look at that now, whether you're all 3 right-handers, okay? So if you look how shiny that is, and that is, all right? So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna put a target there. And I want you to keep working on this ball. And we're gonna try and swing it and just hit this. Obviously it's a big target, but it's just to give them a little bit of vision to see if what the ball does, and obviously a bit of target to see if they could nip it or swing it from here and just hit. All right, Corey's bowling with a new ball, and he's a quite tall lad. So sometimes his length may be a little bit different. So he bowled a little bit a back of a length. So the challenge for him, if he could get it a little bit fuller and get some movement. Where did the pitch? Was it full or was it too short, you reckon?
That was too short.
too short, isn't it? Okay. So again, all right, just what I want you to try, just get your wrist behind it like that. Don't try anything, don't try and turn your wrist anyway, just keep your wrist behind it as long as possible when you present it, and bowl it as full as possible, as close as possible to that yellow thing, and see what it does, all right? Nice, Corey, good. So now, again, we're just gonna try and identify who can swing the ball back in. If it doesn't swing in, it doesn't really matter, but I want them to have an understanding how to swing the ball in. So I'll probably ask them a few questions in a minute, and then we're just gonna have a go at it. So all I've done here, if you come with me, I'll show you. So I've just bring the stumps just a fraction outside half stump. And the idea now is to try and land it around the stump and hit the target. So that's as simple as that. Yeah, it sounds simple, but yeah, that's what we're going to try and do. So it's just outside half stump, and we're trying to go around it. And this side where the yellow marker is, and try and hit the target. So what do you reckon? Swing? It wants to swing, isn't it? Swing? A little bit. Swing, Warren? When does it swing for you? When you go full, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to tell you what was impressive about that for me. Even though all the deliveries didn't swing 100%, how accurate were we around that area? Very accurate in it. So that was really good. You know, Corey, you hit the target a couple of times. Brandon, you get a couple to go as well. And Warren, as you said, when you get it to go full, you could see it wants to do a little bit. Okay, so well done there, guys. These things is something that you could go away and practice by yourself, and just add it to your training. And it's nothing technical about it. It's about just practice with your wrists. Just go there, go here, see what it does, and just start get the feel of how it feels when it does stuff. Okay. Obviously, I'm left-handed, but I'm gonna try wobble it off my right fingers. Okay. So what we're gonna do? So this is your shiny side. So for example, if you want it to wobble in, maybe just try there. And then basically when you bowl it, you want to just drag your fingers down behind it. When it hits, it will just go that way, and it could happen, anything could go. Imagine a surface that it's not swinging, there's nothing happening, and you're just going to try and do something different with the ball. Okay? So a flat one, and most wickets look really flat now in county cricket, there's a lot of runs. So it's really important to kind of have these type of skill, especially in red ball cricket. Okay? So again, whatever works for you, we're just going to go a little 3/4 seam there. You could choose whichever way you want to put your shiny side, and just rip your finger down the side and see what happens. All right? Just having a go. Show me that. Show me. Good. Okay, just a little bit more there. Show me yours, Brendan. Just a little bit there. Okay? And just rip your finger. So you want it to come out. Can I show you, demonstrate left-handed? So you want it to be coming out like that. Okay? So, see that there? So you want it, when it hits, it's coming back that way. That's good, Corey. Yes, Brendan, that looks like it wobbles. So obviously Troy there. Yeah, he has just started bowling left arm spin not too long. So we're just doing some drills to kind of help him to be a little bit more consistent. So obviously we want spin, and we want him to give it a little bit of air as well, so he give it a chance to spin. So there's a little drill here. He's just trying to land it over this and basically hit that target and spin it away and hit the half stump. So as simple as that. It's really, really simple drill. What we've been working on with Troy, his non-bowling arm does tend to go out, so we're just getting him to try and pull through and finish off his action and try and spin the ball hard, because that's really important as a spinner. Try, so just like last week, so imagine this hand, you want your non-bowling arm to be pulling off that target off stump, okay? And really try and spin it hard. Obviously, again, Troy is a left arm spinner, and we want him to bowl for as much as possible. So if you notice, we just changed the bigger target now to a smaller hurdle, and it's the same thing. It's the same principle, trying to land it over and spin it. Okay? So try, even though the target is there, we still look to spin it hard, okay? So what I've done now, I've just taken away the bigger targets and give him a smaller area to focus on and to see how many times he could land it in that area. Really trying to spin it hard, okay? So even if he doesn't get it there, once he's around that area, whether it slide, it drifts, or does something, I think he's always gonna be in the game. Okay, but I really want to encourage him to try and spin it as hard as he can. Oh. Ball, beautiful. Ball, lovely drift. Yeah, try. Just talk to me again about your wrist position when you bowl. Sometimes it falls away a little bit, and what intend to happen then?
Yeah, so most of the time the good balls are coming from a 45-degree angle, coming out nicely, but if my arm starts to fall over, they tend to go wide or short. So yeah.
And do you normally feel that, or is something that you see from where the delivery lands?
Yeah, sometimes I can feel it as soon as it comes out of my hand. I can tell if it's going wide or, yeah.
And how do you deal with that?
Once I get back to my mark, I'll make sure I have the perfect grip before I go again.